What's up, everybody? This is Aaron with the Unnamed Horror Podcast. It's been so long since we've done anything, um, but I am so far behind on the times. This movie's been out for a couple of months now. Most of the world has seen it. I had not until tonight. Jurassic World Rebirth. I literally just left the theater. I'm sitting in the theater parking lot, as a matter of fact, to record this video. And, you know, we're going to do this review in like two parts. This will be a non-spoiler part, and then I'll let you know right before the spoilers start. And so if you want to stop the video, you can. But I assume most people have seen this movie already. And if you haven't, definitely, I will say right off the bat that I liked it. There's going to be some things I'm going to complain about because there are some things that I feel like wasn't like. Sorry, my lighting sucks right now. There's some things I felt like kind of sucked. But there were some things I thought were pretty good too. I noticed in my reviews I'm always just way too overly positive. So there's going to be some negatives in this one. Because overall, while I did like it, I'll give it a positive review overall. There's some things about it that I didn't like. And so I'm going to talk about those too. Right off the bat, though, the first thing I'll say, Gareth Edwards, who did, of course, Godzilla, 2014 Godzilla, which I liked, and Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which was pretty good. May have been the last good Star Wars movie, to be honest with you. Directed this one, thought he did a good job. He did a good job making a monster movie. That's one thing I'll say. There is some, gosh, I don't know. There's some non-dinosaur-y things in this movie. Like there's a lot of things in this movie that's just kind of like, man, it belongs more in a Universal monster movie, or I know that the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park were considered monsters and things like that, but I don't want to get into spoilers just yet, but we'll get into that. But right now, I will say the cast I thought was great. That's the one super positive about the movie. I thought Scarlett Johansson as, what was her name? Zora Bennett was fantastic. She's still one of the most incredibly beautiful women on the planet. Fantastic actress. I think a fantastic actress. And I thought she did a great job in this movie. She was a badass, but she was very likable. Had some fun lines, very charismatic. But when she needed it to get, serious and be really kind of quiet and vulnerable, she was very good at that too. I thought Scarlett Johansson kicked ass in this movie. Marshall Ali, God, he's so good, man. He's so good in this movie and in everything else too. Looking back, I feel stupid because we had a season of True Detective filmed here in Arkansas back when it was a thing for HBO, and it was not the season with Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey. It was a season with Marshall Ali, and it's like, man, that badass was shooting for a long time here in Arkansas, and I never went and met him because I was kind of disappointed it was him and not, Woody and Matthew McConaughey. But he's so good. He's so good in this movie. He is probably, even more than Scarlett's character, the most likable character in the movie. He's a total badass, but he's funny. He's deadly serious when he needs to be. You feel like with both of their characters, they've been through a lot of shit together, and they are both, very much, they're both very close, and you feel like they're gonna save the day. I mean, that's the best way to put it. You feel like they're true heroes. Ralph Friend played a character named Martin Krebs, who I'll get into later who he is, but he was great. I never seen him in anything till this one, but he was really good. As was Jonathan Daly as Henry Loomis. He was great as well. I can't find anybody in the movie that I didn't like. There's a family, which again, when I get into the spoilers, I'll explain who the family is, but they're played by Manuel Garcia Raffo as the father Ruben, Felipe Vega as the older daughter Nina, Adriana Miranda as the little girl Isabella, and then David Encano as the boyfriend of the older character named Xavier. And you would think first time seeing Xavier, he's going to be one of those douchebag characters that, you just kind of don't like or anything. I thought he was likable. I thought once you got through the first few minutes of them treating him like the typical dumbass boyfriend, he got to be pretty likable and was very gutsy. He never once left his girlfriend's side. He never once left her in harm's way. He was always there when she needed him, and vice versa. She was there when they were a cute couple. I liked them. And the father was a good father character, strong and tough, but also loved his family, did right by him. So overall, because I'm about to get in the spoiler portion, so I'll say I give the movie probably a 7.5. It wasn't my favorite, but it was certainly a step up from what, in my opinion, was that bore fest of Dominion. I don't know how you mess up a Jurassic Park movie, but in my opinion, they messed up Dominion. I thought it was so boring. I couldn't get through the whole thing in one sitting. I had to watch it multiple times to get through the whole thing. I love the first 4 Jurassic Park movies. Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3, and then Jurassic World. I thought were all just badass dinosaur survival movies that were so entertaining and so good. Fallen Kingdom fell a little bit, but I still thought it was good. It just wasn't as good as the first 4. Dominion, I thought was a bore fest. Like I said, it took me multiple watches to get through it all. This one, certainly a step up from Dominion, and it may even be a step up from Fallen Kingdom, which I said I like Fallen Kingdom, but I think this one might be even a step up from Fallen Kingdom because the action scenes are awesome. They're very well done. They're very suspenseful, and you don't know. You assume some characters are going to live, but you don't really know until the very end. And then, that is one issue I had, which I'll get to in spoilers here in a second. But I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Thought it was good. Would watch it again. Probably will watch it again. But it wasn't my favorite. But it also wasn't my least favorite. So it's better than Dominion. And probably better than Fallen Kingdom. I think I would put it 5th out of the 7 movies. I think it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this one. In that order. But, all right, I'm going to count down from 5, and then I'm going to start spoilers. 7.5 out of 10. Check it out. It's pretty good. Not great, but pretty good. If you have a chance to see it in the theater still, which is only showing twice a day here now, so I'm pretty sure in the next probably week or so it'll be out of theaters altogether. It's been out for a while. But if you do get a chance to see it in theaters, go see it in theaters on the big screen. But anyway, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Starting spoilers now. All right, so the movie starts with this, like, they're showing this, something happened 15 years ago, which I guess would have been 2010. And I don't know why they chose that day, but that year, but they did. 15 years ago, 2010. And it was this, science lab where they're trying to mutate these dinosaurs to make bigger, scarier dinosaurs for the people who are now basically say the heck with seeing dinosaurs. They don't really care anymore. So they're trying to create these mutated monsters. And just like in the first movie, something goes wrong and somebody gets killed. And then we head to present day, and you see Ralph Fiennes' character, Martin Creeves, driving, or he's stuck in traffic. And I'm guessing, it didn't say what city, but I'm guessing it's maybe New York, New York. And you find out in a really funny moment that it's because a Brachiosaurus got stuck in the road. It's fallen over, and it's like trapped underneath the wires of like the electrical wires above, and it can't get up. And that's why the traffic's caught in a standstill, because of the Brachiosaurus in the middle of the road. There's some things you see in this movie that you're like, where the hell did that come from? That was one of them. Pretty funny way to start the movie, though. I mean, I guess it was supposed to be kind of sad because the poor thing was stuck, but it was still funny seeing a Brachiosaurus in the middle of the freeway, just like blocking traffic. Scarlett Johansson's character then sneaks in behind, gets in the car when he's trying to figure out what's going on. She introduces herself. They're obviously supposed to be meeting, but he's stuck in the traffic, so she comes to him, and he basically tells her that he works for this company who has found a cure for heart disease, but the cure involves getting dinosaur samples from some of these mutated monsters on this island, which has now been the only dinosaurs surviving really are surviving on this island, kind of in the middle of nowhere, in the Pacific Island somewhere near the equator, because the tropical temperature is what keeps them alive. So apparently there's an island where all these misfit dinosaurs, these hybrid dinosaurs are. He has to go there, but there's a law keeping people from going there. Humans are not allowed there. Scarlett Johansson is basically a survivalist kind of person, professional survivalist who can go in and extract people and things. So he thinks she will be good to go in there and help him extract this dinosaur DNA to help cure heart disease. And he offers her $10 million to help. Because at first, she's smart, says, I'm not going near that island. Not only is it illegal, but there's dinosaurs there. No. And he basically bribes her with money, and she takes it pretty quickly. Once he tells her, he said, I think the great line was, starts with a 10 and has 6 zeros. And she said, 6 zeros including the 10? He said, no. So $10 million. And she was like, okay, I'm in. And they go get another guy who's been working with the Creeps' company, but he doesn't know yet that he's going to end up going with them, and that is Jonathan Daly's character, Dr. Hunter Loomis, and he's incredibly likable. Creeps, you kind of get the feeling it's a creep. He turns out to be a pretty big creep at the end of the movie. Henry Loomis comes off very likable, very smart, very intelligent. He's a dinosaur lover, but he's about to lose his dinosaur museum because people just aren't interested anymore. They're not interested in dinosaurs anymore. So he needs the money too. So basically they offer, Scarlett Johansson brings up money and he goes, yeah, I'll pay you too. So they're both getting paid to go to this island to extract this stuff. On their way, they stop off on this island, another island. They leave New York. They stop off on this other island, and that's where they run into Marshall Ali, his character, Ruben Delgado. Or no, I'm sorry, not Ruben Delgado. Duncan Kincaid. And at first he's playing hard to get. As he said he thought about it, he can't do it, blah blah blah. It turns out he and I think Scarlett Johansson kind of got together on this because they've been friends for years and figured out a way to get him paid really big money too. So they're both getting paid $10 million a piece to go help with this expedition. And Kincaid has a group of people with him. I did not write down all the actors' names, but they were all really good. But basically they all just turned out to be dinosaur food. That's what they were there for, to be dinosaur food. Issue number 1. While I liked all the main characters, except for Martin Creeves, who, like I said, turned out to be a creep, none of them die, except one. But you kind of are happy when that one happens, so that tells you who it is. But basically, the whole group of people that Marshall Ali's character brought with them was basically all there to be dinosaur food. They were all the victims. You barely get to know them. They're good when they're in the movie, but you barely get to know them, and then they all just get killed off. Which I guess that's kind of a minor gripe, but at the same time, this is kind of a thing where I was like, okay, I guess. I mean, I liked all the main characters, so I'm kind of glad they all live, but then this part of me is like, it kind of makes the movie, those other characters pointless. Like, we didn't really get to know them very well. They were all just there just to get picked off. It has sort of a slasher movie kind of vibe with the dinosaur kills too. Like, I mean, they were dinosaur kills, but like just one by one, summarily picking people off left and right. Not that I'm complaining. I love slasher movies, but it just kind of felt, I don't know. It didn't feel like Jurassic Park. It felt like a really kick-ass monster movie, but not really Jurassic Park. Which I've heard other people say too, and I'm like, oh, they're exaggerating. That's what it felt like to me when I watched it too. They were right. It doesn't feel like a Jurassic Park movie. But also, while they're on their way, there's a family, a father, Ruben Delgado, played by Manuel Garcia Rofo, and his older daughter, Nina, his younger daughter, Isabella, and Nina's boyfriend, Xavier. They're on a boat on a trip. And of course, you get the feeling at first, the father doesn't like Xavier. He didn't really want him to come, but the daughter begged him, and he let him come, and he doesn't like him. And they had a funny line between the sisters where the older sister's like, I see a different side of him than you do, and the younger daughter goes, yeah, the naked side. And some funny moments between them, and they're all likable. There's nothing about these characters that aren't likable, except Xavier at first, but then you really get to kind of like him as time goes on. But they're on the boat, and all of a sudden this mosasaurus comes out of nowhere, just sort of stalks up on them and attacks the boat and destroys the boat. They end up in the water. They end up on basically on like a life, the bottom half of the boat that had been flipped over, and they're able to make it, or they're floating along, and then the other group of people with Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, they all come upon them and bring them onto their boat, and that's when they meet the first dinosaur. So in order to do this, they had to get a dinosaur from a dinosaur in sea, dinosaur on land, dinosaur in the air. And I should have wrote down, I did not write down the names of the dinosaurs. I know the Mosasaurus was one of them, the one in the water. A type of pterodactyl was the flying one, obviously. And then, God, I can't remember what the second one was, though, but it was this monstrous one inside the island. It almost feels anticlimactic when they get the meds. I mean, they get the DNA from all the dinosaurs. Even though there's some badass moments leading up to it, like with the Mosasaurus, Scarlett Johansson's got the gun ready to shoot, which is going to shoot a dart into it, and the thing's going to turn on and like inject what it needs from the dinosaur, and then shoot itself up in the air. It's going to have a little like my God, I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, it flies up in the air, and this little umbrella thing pops out. Oh my God, I'm going to sound stupid when you watch this, but parachute. This little parachute ejects from it, and it slowly descends down, and they have to grab it. And it's in like this big container thing that got ejected out of it. It's pretty cool how they did it, and they got it from the mosasaur. But while Scarlett Johansson's waiting to shoot it, it's like that scene in Jaws where Quentin has to kind of get attached to the boat so he doesn't fall off. The guys at Henry Loomis, you can tell he and Scarlett Johansson's character have a crush on each other through the whole movie. He's like down there at her feet, like getting her attached to it so she doesn't fall. And while he's doing that, the thing attacks the boat. She falls off the side, and then she's hanging there. She finally gets pulled back on, shoots the thing. It comes out. The Mosasaurus leaves and then comes back and attacks again. They end up on the island because they realize they're about to just be attacked again and again and again. The whole boat sinks. They end up on the island. And when they end up on the island, they get split up. I'm kind of going a little faster because otherwise this thing will last forever. The family is in one place, and the group of scientists and survivalists are in another, and they're trying to come back together at some point. All but Martin Krebs, who you find out is in it all for himself. He's in it all for the money, which, I mean, they all, Scarlett Johansson's character is too, but he's not. He's wanting to make it basically unaffordable for normal people so that nobody but the rich people can have it, can have this cure for heart disease. And he also, when at one point when the family was with them, tried to kill the older daughter. He tried to get her. She fell off the boat. He just sat there and watched her. Didn't try to help her. And then when she fell off the boat, he took off running the other way and said that she got attacked and whatnot. Through the whole thing, it's the girl saying she's going to kill him. She's going to kill him. She's going to kill him. But they meet different dinosaurs. All that part's cool. My biggest problem with the movie, the main dinosaur. There was one scene that I thought was awesome, and that was the T-Rex scene. So there is a T-Rex scene in this movie, and there's the raptors in the kitchen, but it's not a raptor kind of scene too, that they kind of took from the first Jurassic Park towards the end of the movie. That was good, but just not as good as the raptor scene in the original. But it was pretty good. But my favorite scene had to be the T-Rex scene. So they find this other boat. It's the family. It's the father, the two daughters, and the boyfriend. They find this boat. The father's leg is hurt, so he's basically moving on one leg. And the daughter says, "I see a boat. I'm gonna go get it. Xavier's gonna help you get down there to where it's at, and we can get on the boat and try to get out of here." Through this whole thing, there's there's a helicopter coming on the second night at dusk. And this helicopter is going to circle for 2 minutes, and if it don't see any people in 2 minutes, it's taking off, and they're stuck there. So they're trying to get everything done and get to the helicopter pad in the middle of the island by the next night at dawn. At dusk. Anyway, they come across the boat, and all of a sudden you see, as she's going to the boat, you see what you think is a tree, and it turns out to be a sleeping T-Rex. It is laying there asleep. Something you don't see every day, and something else you won't see every day. I'll tell you about in a second too, which I think might have been before this scene, but still, I'm gonna tell you this scene first. It's my favorite. The T-Rex is asleep. She's trying to quietly get inside and get the boat off of the rack that it's on, and get it set up in the water so they can get out of there. And at one point, she goes to hit a button because it's like an inflatable boat, and it explodes and it wakes up the T-Rex. T-Rex gets up, starts to, basically it doesn't see her because remember, T-Rexes don't see anything if they don't move. So she's standing still. And he walks over, he starts to get a drink of water out of the water. And as he's bending over getting a drink, that's when she pops the boat up, and then she gets into it. He turns around and sees her, and the chase is on. And it's just a kick-ass 5-minute scene of the T-Rex chasing. But the best part was seeing a sleeping T-Rex just laying there. It rolls over like a human rolling over in bed. So it's facing one way and it rolls over and it's facing the other way towards her. But it's still got its eyes closed, so it's still asleep. Just hilarious, good shit. And then just an intense scene where it's chasing the family around. Of course, the family gets away. The one person that dies is Martin Creeves. Everybody else lives, as far as the main characters go. Marsha Ali, Scarlett Johansson, Henry Loomis, all the family, they all live, which is a good thing, but also, like I said, kind of just took some of the suspense out there. But another scene, they come up on these, I don't remember what they are, but it's the second dinosaur that they needed the DNA from. And it's not a meat eater. It's a gigantic, it looks almost like a brachiosaurus. They're like, how do we get it out of here? And Henry Loomis goes, well, it gets distracted. And they say, how's it going to get distracted? And they show the dinosaurs basically necking, touching heads, and almost like they're making out. They don't go face to face, mouth to mouth, but it's like they're in love, and these two dinosaurs are about to go have sex or something. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. And I'm sitting there going, the only thing left is to see it kiss. You might as well just see it kiss at this point. And then they kind of walk off together, almost like hand in hand, like two humans walking hand in hand. It was great. It was awesome. And even one of the characters said that's something you don't see every day, and the other one said you don't see this at all. It's just it was so funny. But yeah, the T-Rex scene is my absolute favorite. Now we're gonna skip ahead. Lots of good shit going on. When they find the pterodactyl eggs, it's a different kind of pterodactyl, but they find the eggs, and the main guy or the bad guy's like, why are we getting it from an egg? He goes, well, we could try to get it from the parent, but the parent is a carnivore the size of a 747. And the guy goes, yeah, let's not do that. So they go and they get the DNA from an egg. While they do that, of course, the pterodactyl shows up and goes nuts because it sees these humans touching its eggs. And great scene. A guy's climbing up, he's being pulled up. He got the pterodactyl's attention so that Scarlett Johansson and so Zora and Henry can get out of the cave. And he's being pulled up this mountainous region thing, this mountainous area, while the thing is chasing him up it. And when you see Marsha Ali's character at the very top, he's the one pulling him up. He thinks he's got him up, and all of a sudden you see the pterodactyl just show up in front of the camera with the guy in its mouth. And you see it swallow the guy, and the guy go flying all the way down his stomach. Pretty awesome stuff. Pretty awesome scene. Pretty dark. There is some violent, dark stuff these dinosaurs do in this movie. Now we're going to skip ahead to my least favorite part. This, whatever the hell this mutated dinosaur is, that is supposed to be the main dinosaur in the movie, it looked like, I don't know what they were trying to go for here, because it looked like a mixture of a dinosaur body and what is it called, a xenomorph, or what was the alien from Aliens? Its face looked like Alien from Aliens. I don't know what they were going for. It wasn't a dinosaur. It was this mutated hideous looking, which that part's fine, but I mean, this 100-foot, I mean, the thing was monstrous, huge. And the only cool part about it was because it was before you saw its face, was they were shooting flares trying to get the helicopter's attention when the helicopter showed up, and the flares would go off and you could just see shadows of it in the distance. If they had kept it at that, it'd have been the most badass thing ever. But eventually its face is shown to the camera and you're like, and I'm sitting there going, what in the hell is that? What is that? The thing looks hideous. It looks ridiculous. Like, I don't know what they were trying to accomplish there, but that thing sucked. That thing sucked bad. Man, I don't know what that thing was supposed to be. And it really wasn't even that. You didn't see it for very long. Thank goodness you didn't see it for very long. It was really only in the movie for like the last 10 minutes. And through the whole thing, you're like, the whole time I'm sitting there going, I can't like even take this thing seriously. It looks like an alien dinosaur. Like, it looks like Sigourney Weaver should come out and say, get away from them, you bitch, or something. Like, I don't know what that was supposed to be, but like the Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3 looked badass. Like, it may not have looked correct. I don't know what the Spinosaurus looks like, but it looked badass. Even the dinosaurs in Jurassic World looked badass. That thing looked terrible. Just terrible. I couldn't get over it. Like, that was the only part of the movie that, oops, my lights went out. That was the only part of the movie that I personally didn't like, was what in the heck is going on with this dinosaur? Why is it, sorry about that. Why is it looking like that? I don't know. But that is my one gripe with the movie. My one and only gripe, really. Well, that, and there were spots in the movie that were really slow. You got the opening little 5-minute scene. It was really quick, 5-minute scene with the person getting killed by the whatever the hell that thing was. That you see it in the first 5 minutes, but you don't see its face. You just see its body. You see that it's really massively tall. That's it. And then at the very end, you see it again. So first 5 minutes, okay, cool scene, but we've seen it before in other movies, in other Jurassic Park movies, but okay, cool. And then you don't see it again, and then you don't see it again at the very end, and there are some really, really slow moments. Like, I'm sitting there at times going, first 20 minutes going, this movie's boring as shit too, which is my biggest problem with Dominion, I thought it was boring. And I'm not one person that has to have action every 5 seconds. I'm good with some good, dialogue and some good character moments, but there was very little going on. It was, let's explain the plot in these next couple of scenes and take forever to do it and then get them to the island. But, and even though technically it was pretty quick, they got to the island, like they talk, and then boom, they're on their way, and then boom, they're there. I still thought it still felt longer than what it was, because there was just nothing going on. Some halfway humorous dialogue, but not overly humorous like in the first movie. So yeah, the look of that, whatever the hell that mutated piece of crap was, and the fact that there were some slow moments, which is probably why I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Because when the action stuff happened, I thought it was really good. I thought it was really fun, really dark and twisted and just good. But there were just a lot of like down moments. And then again, the look of that dinosaur, I couldn't excuse that if I tried. I thought some people may like it, and that's cool. I'm not knocking you for liking it, but for me, I thought it was terrible. Horrible. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. Just like I said, there were some nitpicking gripes, which I don't normally do in these reviews. Even if I have them, I don't always usually bring them up. But I thought, no, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like this movie was perfect, because it wasn't. But again, I thought it was a major step up from Dominion. I thought it was probably even a step up from Fallen Kingdom, although I like Fallen Kingdom. But I thought this movie was a lot of fun when the stuff happened. There was just some long moments in between where nothing happened. Otherwise, fun movie. 7.5 out of 10. If they decide to do another one, which I think they are, that's cool. I'm down for it. I'll go see it. If they don't, that's fine too. This one could have been the last one. Scarlett Johansson rocked. Mahershala Ali rocked. Good movie. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time on the Unnamed Horror Podcast.